Basically, I run barefoot. I ran the Jersey Island Walk. For those of you guys that don't know, almost 80 kilometers around the coastline of Jersey, including roads, jagged rocks, gravel, you name it. I still get flashbacks. You know, when I go on those long runs, it's almost as if I've got my laptop with me. I'm just thinking about all those emails that I've got.
Okay,
you know, it's like a way of clearing your thoughts.
Yeah. What was the hardest part or challenges during the walk?
I can imagine this being some challenging for some people that perhaps wake up at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then one day you have to wake up so early.
Yeah.
You know, that can really mess you up. Yeah.
How important is having a clear why behind a goal?
I think it's critical. Yeah. I think this is where most people go wrong, because I don't think they ever ask themselves why.
So, Phil, nice to see you again. You're the first person that has had 2 full episodes on the podcast. You're the first guest on the podcast, so thank you for coming back. How are you?
I'm very, very good. I'm glad to be picking up those extra accolades. No, it's genuinely good. Good to be back.
Good.
Something tells me I'll be back for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So my first question is, for anyone that has clicked on this video and haven't watched the first ever episode, could you explain who you are, please?
Yeah, sure. Actually, they're the lucky ones, because I think this is going to be a better one. Lots has happened since. Okay. So my name is Phil. Here in Jersey, I'm more and more commonly called or named Tarzan.
Tarzan, okay.
Yeah, that's something that's stuck since the last marathon last year. And I run barefoot. I'm well into my fitness, as you know, and an all-round, just like stacking those habits, and benefiting from them. You know, in a way that kind of mashes people's brains, which is quite amusing to me. More to the point, and perhaps the reason why I'm here today is the Island Walk, right?
Yeah.
I ran bits of it. The Jersey Island Walk, for those of you guys that don't know, it's effectively almost 80 kilometers around the coastline of Jersey, including roads, jagged rocks, gravel, you name it. I still get flashbacks.
Yeah.
So I did that barefoot and dressed like a savage.
Nice.
in goat hides. So that was quite good, as you can imagine. Yeah.
Good. My next question is, obviously it was over a year since you came on the podcast. What has changed since that? Challenges you have faced or mindset shifts, stuff like this?
Oh, okay. So since last time we spoke, actually, we spoke after I did the marathon prior year. Right?
That's it, yeah.
And I did it barefoot.
Yeah.
But that year, I didn't fancy dress. I just did barefoot.
Right.
And unsurprisingly, very few people even noticed I did it barefoot, right? So I thought, okay. So for the marathon after that podcast, then it was October, I ran the marathon again, but that time I thought, I'm going to go in fancy dress. Yeah. So effectively what I did is I went for a kind of, because it's barefoot, right?
Yeah.
Flintstones, right?
Nice.
I may be showing my age now. I don't know if your generation knows about the Flintstones at all.
Yeah, no, I know the Flintstones.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. And so I thought I'll get some fancy dress off Amazon, which is what I got. But I chopped it so that it was just a skirt.
Yeah, nice.
So I basically slapped some like fake, those tattoos that kids put like water.
I remember seeing it on your Instagram.
Yeah. Dead funny. Just put random tattoos on myself. And so I ran it, and that's when people started calling me Tarzan.
Right, okay.
So I was going for a Flintstone thing, but everyone just looked at me and going, Tarzan. I think it's my long hair.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But it was quite good fun. So what I wanted to do after that was do the Island Walk, right? Obviously, and actually, what's happened since is actually I really enjoyed the winter arc.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's the first time where I've stayed extremely dedicated to running throughout the winter, just in the full misery of it, right?
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't until March when it was starting to get warmer that I was actually starting to slowly get sick of it. But then, it got warmer, everything. So I was quite lucky.
Yeah.
And it was good prep for the Island Walk.
Yeah.
So for the Island Walk, all winter, I was preparing my goat hides, and thinking about how I'm going to run it. So I ran it. What was it, last month now?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, feet in better shape than most people's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. It's quite good.
Do you prefer training in the summer or winter?
Do you know what? I'm starting to genuinely enjoy the suck.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so they're both good. They're both very different.
Yeah.
It's very different when you... In the winter, you know me, I wake up dead early in the morning. So imagine waking up at 3:30 in the morning because the alarm says so. And it's freezing cold in my room. Usually on a bad day, it's below 10 degrees in my room, right, on the ground floor. So straight away, that's the first challenge, get out of bed. And then you look at the window and it's howling wind, dark as hell.
Yeah.
And the rain is streaking sideways on your window.
Yeah.
So it takes an extra special push to get through that, get yourself out. And keep in mind, most of the time, I'm just in my shorts.
Yeah.
So in that weather, in that temperature, to get out, run that 15K or whatever it may be, and come back absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, I bet.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it. Okay. Love it.
And what are your next goals that you are currently chasing after you've completed the island walk?
Do you know what? I think I'm just going to carry on running the island walk every year barefoot and the marathon. Those are the two things that I do here in Jersey that kind of my schedule allows, because I know there's loads of other runs, etc., that I could do, but when it comes to organised events, you know me, I'm dead busy, so those are the only ones I aim to do. So I'll do those every year barefoot, but what I want to do is explore how tough I can get my feet.
Okay.
Because when I did this island walk, I ran the first bit to St. Catherine's Breakwater. Nice and flat roads, easy. But then the north hit. And I still ran some of the flats once the north hits. But once your feet have been just gnawed at by uneven ground and gravel, etc., they become so sensitive that after that it was not really... There was no running after that. No. So it was quite funny because I basically overtook everyone on my way to St. Catherine's Breakwater. And then everyone overtook me on the north coast. I was basically like getting off the path to let people go, like all the time, getting comments about, you know, that I'm doing it barefoot and whatnot, which was great fun. So what am I planning on? I'm not planning any more crazier runs than that, but I genuinely want to test how tough I can get my feet to see if I can actually run it more than walk it. You see what I mean?
Makes sense. And what does life look like for you at the moment in terms of training?
In terms of training? That's a good question. So 6 days a week, and I have a way of training now that I will... It's not fixed, but it's 6 days a week. Sunday I take off, and what I'll do on any given day is I'll either do a very short segment of yoga, kettlebell, body weight exercises, and go for a run. Or if I'm recovering from a run, whatever, I'll do a heavier session of the same routine as I do, you know, with the yoga and the kettlebells, etc. But I'll stack more sets, so it's more of a heavier session. So I just revolve between those two, and but actually recently what I've been doing more and more of, because the weather's so nice, I'll just, no matter if I've ran that morning, I will sometimes go and run again midday, full sun. The nice thing is I live by the St. Alban Bay, right? So. And it has those showers that you could use when you get out. So I don't even mind when it's baking hot. I'm literally just in my shorts. And the nice thing about being such a minimalist is that I can jump under the shower, get completely soaked, and just hoof another 5K, get under another shower. So I love it. It's just liberating as hell. Honestly, no words.
And so moving on to the island walk, to your journey, doing the island walk and before, if we start from the beginning, where did the idea of running the Jersey Island Walk barefoot first come from?
Great question. I think it was just a natural progression.
Really? Okay.
Natural progression. Because I've been obviously running for maybe consistently for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I am what I describe almost like a pathological problem solver, right?
Okay.
I can't sleep until I fix a problem.
Mhm.
And the way I fix problems very often is I don't just fix it, I go way over
Right,
it.
okay, yeah,
Just
yeah.
over-engineer this, nail it to the ground so it never comes up as a problem again, right?
Yeah.
And that approach I obviously take to running as well. And when I first started running, I'd have shin splints, I'd have knee problems, I had patella tendonitis, I had all
Right.
kinds of problems, right? As almost every runner encounters at some point, because you don't understand how to train yet and you probably push too hard, etc.
Yeah.
And so as part of that, I found, shout out to a dude, they call him knees over toes guy.
Okay.
He got me onto the lower leg sort of exercises to
Yeah.
strengthen the whole chain, the
Okay.
kinetic chain. But also at the same time, I honestly can't remember where it came from regarding going into barefoot shoes.
Right.
Because what I was reading at the time was that when you and I think it's right, when you have padded shoes, you heel strike. You may not even realize.
Right, okay, yeah.
You might even think you're a 4 foot what's it called?
I know what
4
you
foot
mean.
runner.
Yeah.
You think.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's still a heavy element of heel striking in when you have a padded shoes, and what that does is, even though you don't feel it because it's soft, that impact still travels up your bones. Now, when you run barefoot, you put a lot more pressure on your front foot, so the connected chain, it's your ligaments and your muscles that actually take that strain up your leg and then up your back, etc., rather than your bones and your knees. And I think this
Okay.
is what wrecks people's knees. Everyone knows someone who stopped running because the knees gave in, right? And
Yeah.
I suspect very strongly, obviously poor diet could be part of that, just not recovering fast enough. But I think big parts of that is just running in padded shoes.
Yeah.
And obviously it's big business.
Yeah,
Don't expect them to tell you that running in shoes is bad for you, right?
Yeah.
So I started running in, this is a long-winded way of answering your question. So I've started running in barefoot shoes, and at some point, again, I can't remember where the idea came from, but it's obviously anthropologically correct that humans used to run barefoot, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And I have heard about some people still today running barefoot instead of in shoes. And at that point, when I've already strengthened my feet by running in barefoot shoes, it's like, why not
Yeah.
try it, right? And honestly, it felt hella weird. First time, I still remember, I lived in town, Broad Street. When I first got out of the house for a run, bare feet, it felt so weird.
Yeah, I bet.
It was like your shoes are missing. It's like, the back of my head. It's like your shoes are missing. You're
forgot
not
something.
supposed to be feeling the floor the way you do.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. But you do a couple of short runs and you find your way around it. You make some mistakes, you run too long, you blister up, you have to heal after, all of that.
Yeah.
And then I just started enjoying it so much, I thought, I'll run a marathon.
Yeah.
And then I ran the marathon, and it wasn't actually a big deal to
Yeah.
me, body-wise. And I thought, well, why not do the island walk? It's like, it's like a next step. It's like, why not? Why
Yeah.
not? Why not? So it's as simple as that. It was very gradual, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. And what was the reaction from people when they saw you dressed as a savage and barefoot
Or on the island walk.
on the island walk? Yeah.
God. As you can imagine, very mixed.
Yeah.
But I can imagine most people kept the more critical thoughts to themselves, right?
Yeah.
With a couple of exceptions, right? I do remember this at the very beginning of the run, starting at the docks. It's dead quiet. It's 3 a.m., right? And I don't think people realize how far their voices carry in that kind of environment, right? There was a couple of ladies I overheard. They're like, "Oh my gosh, he's riding barefoot," and she said, what's the word that she used? That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's going to be short,
Yeah.
but impressive. And I thought, David Goggins mode on. I was like, I'm going to keep that on for the rest of the run.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And in all fairness, there was plenty of other people that thought the same thing, and for good reason. Especially if your idea of hell is stepping on a Lego brick, right? And you think, oh my God, how can you do the whole island walk barefoot? It's fair enough. But no, most people's reactions were quite funny, and really, really positive.
Yeah, that's good.
There was a couple of really funny ones. There was, halfway through the north, there was a couple of ladies that walked past me. They were like, good on you for, doing the barefoot. Well done, well done. And one of them said, I love your painted nails. I was like, what's she talking about? And I looked down, and I didn't realise that my feet were so dirty.
Oh, really?
And your nails, they don't attract dirt the way that your skin does. And my nails literally look pink.
Oh, wow.
And I thought she genuinely thought that I painted my nails, my toenails. It was just, I looked at her, I thought, that's just too funny.
What did you say? Just thanks, and just carried on running?
I just looked, and I thought, no, I think I shouted that it's the only clean bit on me or something, yeah. But that was quite funny. There was another place where, during the north, I sparked up a cigar, as you do.
Yeah.
And so I had a chat with another chap, and he was like, smoking a cigar, you look like a savage, and that kind of banter. Yeah. And then I overtook him. But then at one point I sat down, the view was quite nice, as you could imagine, in some of the north. So I just sat there smoking my cigar, and he emerged, and he was like, thank God you're smoking that cigar, because we weren't quite sure which path to take. And we just went with our nose, because you could smell your cigar. That's good. So yeah, no, it was people were so positive. They were like, well done. And the ironic thing is that my feet are up for it. The amount of people I walked past that their feet were, you could see just from their walking gait and how much pain they are. Yeah. Blisters, all of that. So it was really surreal walking or overtaking people like that with just no shoes. Yeah. It almost felt like I'm cheating. Yeah, it's like, I almost felt wrong, It's like, sorry. Yeah.
And you mentioned before, you said it was pitch black, like 3 a.m. At what time do you start the island walk?
Oh, it's 3 a.m.
Oh, it's at 3 a.m. you start, and then what time did you finish?
About 9.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that was an interesting aspect of it, because I literally was on the bounce. Yeah. Wearing basically nothing. Yeah. Throughout the whole sun cycle.
Wow. Okay.
Which was a trip in and of itself.
Yeah, I bet.
I applied SPF 50 before I left the house, right? And that just lasted me the whole day.
Yeah. Wow.
And I wasn't burnt at all anywhere, which was quite good. Yeah. There was a couple of things I did during that walk that obviously I didn't know how it's going to pan out. Yeah. Because obviously I've not done a barefoot walk that was that long, right? And one of them was the sunscreen, but another one was I couldn't help myself. When you get down to the bays, first one being St. Juan's Bay. Yeah. I wasn't wearing any shoes. There was nothing stopping me to walk in the water. Yeah. And it was the most amazing thing.
I bet, yeah.
After getting absolutely brutalized by the north.
Yeah.
Walking, and by the way, walking down from the St. Juan's Rock, as I call it, into the bay. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever actually followed that path, that coastal path. No. It's a nightmare. It's zigzaggy because it's super steep. Right. And it's jagged rocks everywhere. That genuinely coming down there in shoes is super dangerous. Super dangerous. But me barefoot, it was extra. Like, I was literally on my back on all fours, like navigating some sections. And actually, what I actually noticed is walking down was way worse than walking up. Right. Like, whenever there was an up section, I actually looked forward to it. And I figured out it's purely because when you're walking up, you place your foot before you commit your weight.
Right, okay.
But when you're walking down, you don't. Yeah. You kind of have to find your spot and kind of lunge at the spot so you're committed, right? If I stand wrong, my whole weight goes down. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of the sections, I was literally like leveraging my thigh strength just to gently come down. It was just a trip in of itself, especially those sections where you've got those they're almost like railway sleepers with those those metal for traction.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
They're like staples.
That's it. Yeah.
And there was one I had to laugh when I walked over it. Didn't step in it obviously, but there was one that was so worn that, you know, the connecting bit between the two prongs was gone. So it was just two sharp prongs sticking out of the wood. And I was like, oh, I saw you. I saw you. Just, God, yeah. No, honestly, it was something else.
And how many miles each week were you running to prepare for this?
Oh,
you mentioned 6 times a week that you're training. How many miles?
6 times, but it will be 3 or 4 runs, not more than that, right? Okay. So what I did is I probably did not more than between 40 and 60
a week.
K a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
At this stage of my build, let's call it, I really don't have to go crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as I do roughly half of the island, you know, if I'm doing 80K, if I do roughly half of that, but you do it consistently, week on, and your body isn't falling apart and you're not picking up injuries, you know you're there. You know your body's just taking it. So, you know, taking a week off, taking some of that pent-up strength and just doing double that, it's not really that big of a deal for your body.
Because you said that to me, I think it was last year, because that's when I was getting into proper running, and I think I said to you doing 10K, but you said don't do like a random 10K on the weekend, do it every week, so then your body prepares for it. Yes,
or you don't even have to do it in one go.
Right, okay.
If your target is 10K weekly, you could do, and by the way, this is quite powerful, split it into 2Ks every day for 5 days. It honestly, it seems daft, but it really builds that, it almost like forces your body to recover quicker.
Right, okay.
Because if you do a 10K in one day and then you do nothing for a week,
that's it.
Your body kind of gets used to that it has a whole week to recover. You know, your body's not daft, right? But if you hit it every day with something, even if it's smaller than that 10K, it gets used to that overnight you got to maximize your sleep, diet, and it just seems to work.
Because I think last year or at the start of the year, I think my running was around 15K a week, and now it's, because obviously I've got the marathon in October, I think, so I work from home twice a week. That's when I do one 10K and one 12K, and then it's, I think, what did I do? Then it's football on Wednesday, so it's around another 5K, probably an hour of football, and then either another 12K or, like you said, chucking a half marathon on the weekends as well. So that's my running schedule at the moment.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, different to what I was doing 15K.
So what's the total? Because it sounds like you've got a couple of 10K, 12K,
total
and then
probably
a half marathon in a weekend.
That's
quite a lot.
So it is. So say 2 10Ks, so 10, 20, 5K on the Wednesday, 25, and then what's half a marathon in kilometres?
20K.
I was at 20K. So 45K.
If your body can take that and you can consistently do that week on, week off without wheels coming off, so to speak, you're golden.
You're perfect. And how did you balance training with your normal work and life commitments? Did you find it challenging, or has training always been like a top priority for you?
Well, it has always been. In all fairness, I've got so many commitments, you know, with kids and work and everything else. In all fairness, you know, my kids are like Energizer bunnies. Right? If I wasn't as fit as I am, I could not keep up with them. Honestly, I could not keep up with them. So it's almost like I have to stay fit and strong
for them.
For their well-being, and just me being there, you know, not being always tired. Because I've been there when my first Emily was born. I've showed you the picture. I was overweight. I was swollen. You know, it wasn't good. And I remember even picking up a toy off the floor felt like an Olympic effort. You know, you know, it's just crazy how you think you're fit. And I was in my mid-20s then. You know,
wow,
it's quite scary. But no, since then, what I've carved out is my. I almost call it. It's my time. It's my forge. It's the time in the morning between I wake up and between my family wakes up. Right. That's my time. That's and look, it's quiet. There's no one around. There's no phones ringing. There's no emails landing in my inbox. I can focus. I can think, and I don't even. You know, when I go on those long runs, I don't listen to music. I just think it's almost as if I've got my laptop with me. I'm just thinking about all those emails that I've got. You know, it's like a way of clearing your thoughts.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is whatever is most pressing is going to surface to my mind.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll sit down and think, what should I focus on? And you're not quite sure.
Yeah.
But when your mind is fresh in the morning and you know you've got 3 hours of running ahead of you, things are going to surface.
Yeah.
And you're going to think about them. And you're going to think, okay, I should do this and I should do that. And I've gotten so good at it, I don't even have to note my actions. I'll just remember them.
Right,
and throughout my day, I just execute. So that's how I balance it. I prioritize it. I do it first thing in the morning, before any of my family even wakes up, which actually it's not good sometimes because my kids don't see me work out. You know, when it comes to instilling working out habits in your kids, they have to see you do it.
Yeah.
So it's quite odd. It's almost like a problem that's occurred to me recently.
Yeah, but I suppose do they not see you when you do your home workouts, or?
No, because I do it in the morning. I do it before they wake up.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they still do see me every now and then, you know, but it's not as often perhaps. You know, it would be probably more beneficial if they saw me more often, but it's a minor point, I suppose.
Yeah. And what was going through your mind the night before the island walk?
Oh,
was it? Were you
I was excited.
Excited?
No. I was excited. Look, I don't do birthdays. I don't care for Christmas presents. The island walk is my Christmas.
Right. Okay. Nice.
It is my Christmas. It is near enough a whole day where I don't have to worry about what my kids are doing, having someone, you know, answer emails. I'm just enjoying myself, genuinely.
Nice. Okay.
But interestingly enough, even though 3 a.m. is not too far from my normal wake-up time, because the island walk starts at 3 a.m., right? And I can imagine this being some challenging for some people that perhaps wake up at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then one day you have to wake up so early.
Yeah.
You know, that can really mess you up. Yeah. It can really mess you up. Obviously, you get the adrenaline on the day, and that helps. But what I ended up doing is I ended up going to bed an hour earlier, and I cheated. I took some melatonin.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And it just knocked me out, because I never use it normally, right? So I took like 6 milligrams of melatonin, and I just fell asleep beautifully and woke up super fresh.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with the way that I executed that one.
Yeah. And what time did you go to bed?
Oh, it was 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, and you woke up
about 2ish.
2ish, yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
And did you have a set routine for this event, or was it the case of just running, keeping fit, eating healthy, etc.? But I suppose you already had the structure in place.
Yeah, so the space was already there with waking up in the morning in those hours that I have.
Yeah.
All I did, which helps, this is why I think it's important to have something in the calendar, you know, almost at all time, because it gives you that extra why.
Yeah.
No, all I did is just got extra consistent, and I got extra, because obviously I was planning on running in goat hide only, so I put a bit more emphasis on strength training and just looking the part as well as being fit enough to do it.
Yeah.
So I kind of balanced these two, and you know, my body just took it.
Yeah.
Just took it, took to like water. So I've been trying to get into that swing again now before the marathon.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
quite tricky.
Yeah. Are you doing the marathon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Okay, nice.
Oh yeah, so I am. Just on a side note, I'm raising money for a different charity, Healing Waves.
Okay, nice.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can dress like the most stereotypical surfer you can.
Yeah.
Just obnoxiously so, like long hair, shorts only. I'll have like a small board with me that I'll carry, and I'll put like zinc on my nose or something. Just make it completely over the top and just hoof it barefoot, and I'll just keep asking people where the beach is throughout the whole run.
Nice,
that's the plan.
And what were the first few miles like? What was going through your head?
Great question. I was laughing at myself because I really messed up with my chafing. You know, I was wearing that goat hide. There was nothing between my thighs.
Yeah.
And I think my thighs got a little bit chunkier than I expected them to be. And in all fairness, my plan was, which was really stupid, because I thought, I'll be fine, you know. Some of the things is just becoming so leisurely. I'm becoming so leisurely about this. I thought, I'll just stick some tape on it, it'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't fine. but within a couple of K, the tape completely came off. Worse than that, it left my skin tacky. So my it was even more. There was even more friction between my. So I was like, oh my god! So here I am, about 5 to 10K into a 80K run.
Yeah.
And my thighs were already just sore.
Yeah.
I don't want to describe it, but it was like a car accident down there, right? I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I'm just going to suck it up, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is actually what I had in my little you know, caveman satchel. I took a little bit of rubbing alcohol.
Right. Okay.
And if you've ever put rubbing alcohol on an open wound, let me tell you, it hurts.
Yeah, I bet.
Right? So when you got these massive patches on your thighs, I just went like this, sucked it up, and went down. And oh my God, let me tell you, that was an experience in and of itself. But you know what? After that, the pain from just the rubbing, it reduced all the way to completely manageable.
That's good.
Completely manageable. Whatever it was that was causing it, the alcohol just kicks its ass. I was happy after that. Yeah, and after that, it was fine.
That's good. And how did your feet cope as the miles went on?
So, my skin was absolutely fine, but what I noticed is, just to give you a long-winded answer, I suppose, when you're toughening your feet, there's kind of two elements of it, right? You need to keep your skin tough so it doesn't break, obviously.
Yeah.
But what you've also need is that cushion of fat, I suppose, underneath or underneath the skin, effectively, that cushions any sort of, you know, small rocks and uneven floor and whatever.
Yeah.
And what I noticed, the longer I go, the skin isn't the problem, it's that soft tissue underneath. It gets progressively more sensitive as you go.
Yeah.
So the kind of surface that would give you absolutely no problem at the very beginning, towards the end, it was extremely painful.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It was just getting more and more painful. And it's not because there's anything wrong with my feet, it's just because they're becoming more and more and more sensitive.
Yeah.
And this is basically what I'll be targeting with, you know, if I'm going to explore how much I can toughen my feet.
Yeah.
I think my skin's not going to be so much of a problem as that soft tissue.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to somehow find a way to toughen it to the point where it just takes it, you know, all the gravel and everything else.
Yeah. Okay. Food and drink. What was the plan there, and how did you manage this? On the island walk and maybe before?
Great question. It's all about before.
Right. Okay.
All about before.
Yeah.
Hydration, as you know, I drink 4 to 5 liters a day on a slow day.
Right. Okay. Well.
Right.
Yeah.
So because of that, I hardly have to drink. And keep in mind, I've been running long miles for a very long time. I hardly sweat.
Yeah.
Right. So that water loss isn't massive. So every aid station, I take a small bottle or two, down one, run with the other.
Yeah.
Hydration was not a problem at all.
That's good.
Every now and then, when I could remember, I'd pop a gram of sea salt in.
Yeah.
Just to make sure my body's got enough.
Okay, yeah.
But you can tell that you're okay with hydration, not just because you don't feel thirsty. And, you know, there's a certain almost like mental fatigue that lands on you when you get become dehydrated. So that's one sign. Another sign, you just stop weeing. That's another sign that you know you're getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
I was going throughout the whole day.
Oh, really?
It was embarrassing how many bushes people have seen me in.
Yeah.
So no problems. And again, it's because when you have built a habit like that, it just carries you.
Yeah.
And you could imagine how, you know, my core belief is that human beings, we are just like tigers were built to use their claws and teeth and catch prey. We evolved to run long distances to catch the prey that just gets exhausted, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because it has fur and whatever. This is why we don't have fur and we sweat. No other animal sweats as much as we do. and it's that. It's and think about it. If that was the case, if our bodies couldn't handle that much running without constant drinking, you have to ask yourself, how the hell did these people survive, right? And I think that's what it was. When they were at leisure, they just drink water all the time, keeping well hydrated, so that when they do have to go out there, their water tank is massive. Do you see what I mean? And I think that seems to be the case with me. You asked me about food as well. So that's an interesting one. You know, I'm carnivore. So I don't change anything basically for the run. What I did do is I made some pemmican.
Okay.
And for those of you guys who don't know what pemmican is, it's effectively, you take some meat that's very lean, you dehydrate it so that it's almost 0% water, and you blend it into powder. And then what you do is you melt some fat. I used venison fat.
Okay, yeah.
And then you melt some and you basically mix it in with dry meat.
Right, okay.
And it basically makes this like almost like a cakey. It's almost like a protein bar. You can make like bars or little cakes or whatever. You can put some salt and pepper into it for flavor. I took that with me. I had vacuum sealed packs that I made months and months in advance. And I only ate when I was hungry.
Right, okay, nice.
And I ended up reaching for it maybe 2 or 3 times, you know, pucks like this.
Yeah.
Didn't get hungry.
Yeah.
Wasn't hungry the next day. It was diet. And again, I pegged that down to the fact that I run on keto.
Yeah.
I think if you run on carbs, it's different because your body can hold very few, comparatively speaking, calories. They say between 2,000 and 4,000 calories you can keep in carbs, in glycogen, I believe they call it, in your glycogen stores. And once that runs out, that's why marathoners hit the wall.
Right. Okay,
if you don't, if you're a carb runner and you run really fast, you'll deplete your carbs really quickly. That's why you need to eat.
Yeah.
But if you run slow enough, like I do, and you run on fat, I mean, there's fat all over me.
Yeah.
You know, your body, it's just a completely different metabolic pathway, and it just feels different. It has completely different pros and cons.
Yeah.
So for my purposes, it works beautifully.
Yeah. Okay. And what was the hardest part or challenges during the walk?
Ooh, the hardest.
Do you think it was thighs running alcohol? Or?
That was fun, yeah. To be fair, that was a funny one because it was just like an added layer of pain.
Yeah.
That wasn't. What was the biggest challenge?
Towards the end, maybe your feet, or doesn't have to be challenging.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things that come to mind, you know, because straight away I'm kind of thinking, well, which one's the worst?
Yeah.
And they were all equally bad, you know.
Yeah.
But you just deal with them. There was a couple of curveballs. So, for example, I forgot that if I take too long, because I genuinely didn't know how long I'm going to take. I wasn't sure how long I'm going to be. And actually, when I hit St. Auburn, you know, that last leg, the sun was already setting.
Right.
And as I was walking St. Albans Bay, it was getting really cold, like genuinely cold.
Right.
So I was quite lucky in the way that I finished at that time and not later.
Right, yeah.
I would have been freezing, like genuinely freezing, even though it was fairly warm. But at that stage, you know, after that much on the bounce, and obviously my outfit didn't help, right? I was basically wearing nothing. It's quite funny. But there was another thing that kind of curveballed me is when I was walking, I didn't have a moment when I ever wanted to quit. But if I was going to quit, that could have been one. When I was walking St. Auburn Bay in the glorious water, a quick thought occurred to me that my feet are getting just like a white sheen as if they're soaking up the water.
Right.
And I thought, okay, if my feet get overly soft because of the water, how's that going to impact the rest of the walk? Because they still have like, you know, that last quarter of the island to go.
Yeah.
So that kind of crept into my head, messed with me a little bit. But then I started walking again. I got to the aid station. I reapplied my cream, use shea butter.
Right, okay, yeah.
Seemed to be absolutely fine for the rest of the walk. So that kind of messed with me a little bit, but ended up being totally fine.
Yeah.
what was also a mental sort of challenge is, if you think about it, and that's what I thought, the north is going to be the worst, you think, right? Because ups and downs and whatever, rough terrain. But actually, going past Corbière, and there's a fair bit of rocky paths there. But what was worse than the bloody rocks was there was paths, quite wide paths, further away from the edges of the cliffs and whatever, where to keep the track and to keep the path intact, there was like aggregate thrown all over it.
Right,
mate. Some of it was evil.
Oh, really?
Just the worst from the whole walk. That there was a few places where it was so jagged that I had to choose just tiptoeing my way through this just nightmare.
Yeah.
Or go kind of on a little bit of on the side where there's a little bit of vegetation and very likely thorns.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, that's a tough decision.
Yeah.
So I'd probably gravitate towards the thorns, actually, because the aggregate was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just I enjoyed every piece of it.
Yeah.
Including different textures of ground.
Right,
there were bits where there was quite black sand.
Right.
And I underestimated how hot that stuff's going to get. There was sunny all day, so when you're rounding that bit around Corbière, it's after a whole day of sun, and I've noticed that it's just the difference in the temperature of the ground was crazy dependent on the color of it. Obviously, as you know, black stuff gets hotter, right?
Yeah.
But that black sand, it was almost like, oh, this is hot. It's like walking on a hot plate here. Yeah, no, it was interesting.
But overall, you had a good time.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Because I did my half marathon 2 weeks ago, and obviously it's not an island walk, much shorter. But it was the same feeling when we did the 30k. Then I was like, this is going to be a long run. I was looking forward to it. I couldn't wait. But I thought it was going to be challenging, and I just loved it. The half marathon. It was do you know where Mofont Village is?
Yeah, I think I saw it on your Strava.
Right, you would have, yeah. So drove from there to St Ovens and then pretty much just ran all the way back up. And obviously that last bit where you got the beach, it's just well nice. So literally did that.
Yeah.
And it only took me around 2 hours, but it felt like 20 minutes because it was just well good.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to the marathon.
Amazing.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Well, depending on your pace, I'm doing that as well. Be good to run it together.
Yeah.
It'll be good
fun.
fun.
Defo. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Because you just triggered my memory there. Yes, this is what I was going to say. People have this instinct of comparing. And they say, oh, it's nothing what you're doing, Phil, but because I only did, like you just said, the 20k, it's not a lot. But look, those are really pointless comparisons. I remember when I ran my first half marathon. It was a very spontaneous thing. I had 13k jotted down. This was about 5 years ago. Had about 13k jotted in. I felt like I wanted the challenge, and I ran a half marathon. And it was the hardest run I have ever done.
Oh, really?
The mentally and physically hardest run I have ever done.
Right.
This island walk barefoot, doesn't compare.
Oh, really?
Doesn't compare.
Wow, okay.
Doesn't compare.
Yeah.
You see, this is the thing. Because you don't know how people are internally feeling. Right? I wasn't clearly fit enough to do a half marathon comfortably yet.
Yeah.
So that what elevates it, that difficulty. There's a gap between what your body is genuinely capable of doing and what you push it to do, right? And the ironic truth is that, the island walk, half the people don't finish it every year.
Right, okay.
Why? Because it's hell.
Yeah.
Because most likely they caught a injury, but I can imagine most of them didn't really train for it or for whatever reason. My hat's off to those people.
Yeah.
What I do because I know what I'm doing. It's not really that much of a big deal, and I don't want to sound big-headed because that's not the point. I have a lot more respect to the people that I've walked past that were walking with blisters. There was one dude, when I finished the island walk, and I was sitting down on the stairs, smoking my cigar, as you know, and I was just congratulating people as they were walking past, you know, the Horizon buildings.
Yeah.
And there was one dude who was in such a rough shape, his back went, and so he was tilting almost to the point. He was obviously avoiding using some muscle in his back that went.
Yeah.
And I was just clapping, going, fair play.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't help it. I said, do you need a hand?
Yeah.
And he like very quickly said no. And I was like, fucking well in. That is the spirit.
Yeah.
That is the spirit. Yeah. No, I saw quite a few people finish it, quite emotional. And I can imagine, because I know I've been in that place before, that it's when you push yourself that much, you push yourself to a point where you have never thought possible.
Yeah.
And that's what's so special about the island walk.
Yeah, okay. And moving on to advice for others. First question is, for someone watching who wants to challenge themselves but don't know where to start, what advice would you give them? Whether
This is specifically with what?
With, say, just in fitness. So that could be the island walk, or getting into running your first 10K, or running your first whatever. What
Gotcha.
advice?
My advice would be, God, it's such a broad question. And it's difficult to answer because you don't know where this person's perhaps weaknesses are, right?
Yeah.
Because if I can think of someone, like an average person, trying to go, okay, I want to do the island walk next year, I want to get fit enough. The average person's hydration is awful.
Yeah.
The average person's diet is awful. So even before you go into the exercise, you've already got loads of work to do.
Right,
right?
okay, yeah.
So it's one of those, can you do it with just exercise and doing minimal changes to your hydration and your food? Of course. Are you going to still enjoy it? Of course. But it's not my style.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
In general, I would tell this person to, whatever they're going to do, make sure to carve out a daily habit.
Okay.
Let's say you have a bit of time, like I do it in the morning. It doesn't have to be in the morning. Sometimes evenings work for people. You know, whatever it is, make sure you do something.
Yeah.
Make sure you protect that habit. So even on a day when you said, you know what, I've done loads of work, I want to have a rest day, don't have a rest day. Still take that time, sit down, stretch, go for a walk, do something else. Do more of a recovery workout rather than a heavy workout. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's incredibly important to maintain your habit. If you get into a habit now of walking even, you don't have to run obviously, and then you have a whole year until the island walk, you're going to be golden.
Yeah.
You're going to be golden.
Yeah.
But you have to, it's almost like a sacred space to me, because it's basically the source of all my creativity, it's the source of all my strength, it's the source of all my mental planning and problem solving, is just having that time in the morning that I can crack on with whatever I have on my agenda.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, perfect. And how important is having a clear why behind a goal, do you think?
I think it's critical.
Yeah.
I think it's critical.
Yeah, okay.
And I think this is where most people go wrong, because I don't think they ever ask themselves why.
Why they're doing
anything.
Yeah, okay.
What's the point of you going to work? What's the point of anything, really? And I think when we don't have a solid why, it's where we succumb to comfort and temptation, and because why not? Right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a strong why, then you're going to have a very strong why not.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Why shouldn't I eat that donut? Why shouldn't I go on that holiday and spend God knows how much money and hardly remember it because you spent it drunk? You know?
Yeah.
It's one of those. No, I think it's critical. And I think this is one of the reasons why I call that time of the morning, especially when I run, important, because those kinds of things run through your mind.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the point? Because at any time when you're trying to change your habit, it's difficult. The old habit does not want to die. It lives in your mind and it will defend itself. And if you don't have a strong why, it will question you.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? And it will win if you don't have a strong one.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And what are some basic health habits you think everyone should prioritise, do you think?
I think some real quick wins. Water.
Yeah.
Just drink more of it. Just, even if you think you don't need water, even if it annoys you that you go to the toilet all the time.
Just drink.
By the way, it stops.
Yeah.
You know, you did the 75 hard, right?
Yeah.
What was that, 4 litre? That sounds like a slow day, like a really slow day for me, you know. But you just go for it. And in all fairness, if you need, like, it actually works for me in the office because I stretch my legs.
Yeah.
If I need to go to the loo X amount of times, it's just better. You come back, think about some of the work you've got to do. You come back, you know, you refresh your mind and whatever, you crack on with it. Eat more meat.
Okay.
I think we all don't eat enough protein. And I don't think reaching for whey protein and protein supplements is the right way to go.
Okay.
There's something really, I don't want to use a word. It's almost like a bastardized approach.
Okay.
Your body did not evolve consuming one specific type of protein.
Yeah.
With nothing else with it. It evolved to eat an animal with all its fat and protein and sometimes bones and everything else. Do you see what I mean? That's what your digestive system evolved to digest, right? Yeah. When you start lumping, I actually have heard of people overdoing whey protein and having liver problems.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've looked into this to death because, for example, iron is another thing. I eat a lot of beef, and at some point it occurred to me maybe I'm taking too much iron, right? And I looked this up, and all I could find is cases where people had too much iron in their system, but it was because they took supplements.
Right.
What appears to be the case is that if you eat too much meat and you actually taking too much iron, your digestive system will stop absorbing it. So it just passes through you. And so you kind of have to look at it and think, well, that makes sense, right? Because it's a natural source of food and protein, etc. Your body just knows what to do with it. I feel like I'm rambling. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you answered the question. My next question is, what role does discipline play in achieving success, do you think?
Oh, it's critical.
Critical. Okay.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, we're emotional beings, and emotion is a flavor of chaos, right? So that's why you need discipline to go, okay, carve out a part of your day for a bit of emotional chaos, let's call it, right? I have that with the kids. You know, the weekends are more or less, I'll do my thing in the morning, but then when they wake up, it's kind of anyone's guess what we're going to do, right? Great. But when it comes to things that are absolutely critical to your well-being, they have to be surrounded by a framework and that, what's the word you used?
Structure?
No, I can't believe I forgot the word now.
I can't remember what I said.
Discipline.
Oh, sorry, discipline. Yeah.
You just got to be disciplined with it. It's almost like you got to get to a point where it's non-negotiable.
Yeah, okay.
Where you wake up and you still feel like rubbish. And you still go through the motions. Maybe you don't go as hard. Maybe you don't do as many reps.
Yeah.
But you still do it.
Yeah.
Something is always better than nothing. Because once you start skipping workouts and you start skipping and you go, I'll do it tomorrow. It's like 1 day is a mistake. 2 days is the start of a new habit. And then it's just jumping back and it just gets harder and harder again.
Yeah, okay. And as you know, we have a tradition on the podcast where viewers submit their own questions via Slido. Got a question from Richard. Phil, how do you manage stubbing your toe, getting a thorn stuck, or accidentally stepping into stinging nettles, particularly if it's at the start of a long walk?
How do you manage all those things? So what do we have in there?
So you've got
stubbing your toe, thorns, nettles, what else was it?
So you've got thorn stuck or accidentally stepping into, stinging nettles. They're the three things.
Yeah, okay.
particularly if it's a long walk.
So it's quite funny. Nettles.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with nettles.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. Never, but look, keep in mind, nettles, okay, it's going to stink for a bit.
Yeah.
If you're worried about pain, you just don't go barefoot, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Thorns are an interesting one because I was picking thorns out of my feet 2 weeks after the island walk.
Oh, really?
So there was so many times where I'd stand on a thorn during the island walk and just go plunk, and just pull it out and just carry on, and it just kept happening again and again.
Yeah.
There was a couple of places where I could feel that the tip of it's detached, and it's still in my foot.
Right.
But it's like in that moment, there's nothing you could do. You just got to suck it up,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And very often the pain goes away after a while,
Yeah.
So I just went with that. And the nice thing about thorns is that when they do break your skin, it's only a tiny piece, right? It's nothing your immune system can't deal with it in the time. The next day, it will be very obvious because you have a bit of redness around it. Okay. So there's something there you have to deal with.
Yeah.
So I usually just sanitize a needle and just dig it out.
Right, okay.
And then the ones that you really don't have to worry about is the ones where, there's a thorn in there, but there's no redness around it.
Right.
Which basically means it hasn't really pierced my skin. So you just deal with it like that. It's not too much of a hassle. Stubbing my toe, that's not happened to me.
Okay.
Something similar has happened to me, but not stubbing my toe. I don't exactly run around furniture, right? Yeah. So that doesn't tend to be a problem.
Yeah.
But what has happened a couple of times, especially at the beginning, is when you drag your nail on the ground.
Yeah.
When you walk barefoot and you kind of go and you scrape the ground. Yeah. That's happened a couple of times, but only at the beginning. It hasn't happened to me for a very long time. And I think that happens because when we wear shoes all the time, your feet are literally weak. Your feet don't move the way they're supposed to, right? Especially when it comes to lifting your toes up. That seems to not be as well developed in people that wear shoes all the time.
Right, okay.
So, and this is where you move your foot. You don't lift those toes, and you kind of scrape, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that it just hasn't happened to me for a very long time. In fact, I used to have all kinds of things stuck in my foot.
Oh, right.
You know how seagulls sometimes pull out cockle shells out of the sea, and they smash it on the pavement?
Yeah.
I had like a thin piece of shell stuck between my toes once. I was like, what on earth is this white thing? And I pulled it out and I realized it was a piece of a shell.
Yeah.
And again, that hasn't happened to me for a very long time. I don't know if I'm getting lucky or my feet are getting so tough.
Yeah.
Nothing just pierces them anymore. I really don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
But good question. Good questions, Rich.
And that's all my questions for you. But thank you so much for coming back on. Like I said, you're the first guest to have 2 full episodes.
Yay! Maybe I'll come for a third time. Oh, yeah. About a third time before we wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book.
Oh yes, that's what I was supposed to ask you. What's the book about?
So the book, I suppose it would shine a bit of light over why I do what I do and who I am.
Yeah.
It's not easy to explain in the words. Phil, why do you do what you do? I'm writing a book about it, basically. Yeah. It's not a quick answer. But it's all revolves around the lost idea of sacrifice.
Okay.
Sacrifice is something that past humans have understood very, very innately. Let's use an example of once when humans moved out of Africa and up north, we started having seasons.
Right.
So you had a good season during summer where there was loads of fruits, berries, and animals to eat.
Yeah.
And then winter hit, and all of that went away, right? So you had to make a sacrifice in the day, and there's another thread to this. You had to put some stuff away and not eat them, so that you could have food later on. And related to this is perhaps you can imagine later on when we started farming, you would keep the best of the grain, the grain that would potentially taste the best.
Yeah.
You put that away for next year's harvest because you need to put it in the ground.
Yeah.
Take, so there's these kinds of compromises, these kinds of sacrifices were made all the time. And more sort of pertinently to me, I had to sacrifice drinking alcohol. I had to sacrifice a lot of relationships. I had to sacrifice comfort food. I had to sacrifice a lot of things to be what I am.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult because very often you don't know what you're going to get back. But life provides.
Yeah.
When I cleaned up my diet, I didn't realize that my dandruff's going to go away.
Right. Okay.
I had dandruff all my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just goes away.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So there was certain things. I know a guy who cleaned up his diet, went carnivore actually, and his asthma went away.
Wow.
So clearly there was something in his diet that was triggering his asthma attacks, right?
Yeah.
So he sacrificed, bagels,
Yeah.
and then so it's very, very closely related to faith, because very often you need to make a sacrifice and you're not quite sure why or what you're going to get back. What's the point? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you see everyone else indulging, it's that much harder to make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
So the book is all about that kind of exploration, and you also have to ask yourself, you have to look at me and ask yourself, this guy runs half marathons over gravel in pitch darkness, barefoot, in the middle of the night, for fun.
Yeah.
What the hell has pushed his pain threshold, let's call it, to a point that those kinds of things are not just doable and easy, but actually I derive pleasure out of them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's certain things that have happened in my life that has contributed to it. A funny one is, it's funny to me, but perhaps it won't be to everyone. When I was very, very young. I actually haven't written into the book this example, but I needed to have root canal cleaning done in my teeth.
Right. Okay.
And at the time, my family couldn't afford anaesthetic. See what I'm going with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went to, and the only dentist they could afford was the school dentist, like primary school dentist.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a really good experienced dentist, you don't work in a school,
Right,
okay?
yeah.
And I remember this lady that was the dentist. She was very young, and now I remember she was really, really stressed. And I don't know if it was because she hasn't done root canal cleaning before,
Yeah.
or whether she was doing it on a kid with no anesthetic, right? Because there's that. And just to top it all off, she wasn't doing it with an electric tool. It was like a manual rasp, okay?
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
So that was 3 hours split across 3 separate days, an hour each, that this poor woman would just torture me. It was genuinely torture, right?
Yeah.
So after that, when you've got experiences like that, just kind of daily annoyances and headaches and whatever, it just doesn't compare.
Yeah.
It just does. That's a funny example of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is going to be, there's going to have a very, very, very deep faith aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
So.
And when did you start writing it?
I started writing it not long ago, literally a few days ago. But because it's full of examples from my life, it's been flowing quite quickly.
Yeah, that's good.
I've probably got a third of it, like a good spine, already together.
Yeah.
And now with the AI tools, it's just so much easier.
I bet, yeah.
Because it's kind of, you're thinking concepts, you're thinking memories, you're thinking how everything joins together. You don't have to type and think about all the practical and technical admin bits about it. It's just the AI does it for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah,
let me know when you finish the book, and I'll give it a read.
Yes, and maybe invite me back.
Yeah,
go on.
defo.
Phil, you're insane. You're even more insane than I thought. I'm looking forward to third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
Hopefully you come back for the third time.
Yeah, that would be good. Nice one.